Hi everyone, welcome back to a new session. Today we have a window function. This is a really smart function. It can do a lot of things. It can take data and chunk our data, our tables in a way that you'll see has endless options. And basically we can take any information we want from our table. So also, index function is a really smart function. We had some issues in the previous session with similar lines in a table, but I found a very simple trick, and now everything looks like easy and also very useful. So you'll understand what I mean by this when we will start to just work on this function. So we have, as in previous session, we have one-to-many and many-to-many scenarios. One-to-many means we have column states with unique names, no duplicates. And then we have in many-to-many same table, but in column states we have similar names for states, right? Okay, so let's just start with the first scenario. What we want to take out, for example, the first 10 rows. Then we want to take the last 10 rows, and then we want to take rows from each category of services, and we want to pull out the top 3 higher values, top 3 lower values for each category. And I think this is quite interesting and awesome. So we'll do everything with the window function, and same thing we'll do here with the many-to-many scenario. So let's just start. So first we'll create a new table. So we go in modeling, new table, and we will name our table like window 1 for scenario 1. And we say window, and we need to indicate the first position. I'm not saying the first row, first position. You need to pay attention to this, because in this case where we work now, it's indeed the first line. But when we'll switch to partition side, you'll see that it's not quite the first row. It will be the first value. So in this case, position 1 for from type, we have two options, ABS and real. ABS means go forward, real go back to from my position. So I will use ABS in this case. And then from to, I need to indicate where I want to go. So I will say line position 10 or line 10 in this case. And which type I want to use, ABS. So one comment here. You'll see that these 4 values will basically change everything in our function. So we will be able to choose different lines, different data if we will switch these numbers from positive to negative or from ABS to real in combinations. You will see that the outcome is different. So we go forward, and now in relation side, we need to indicate our table one-to-many. Or if we want to not take the whole table, like for example, I don't want to take the whole columns for the first 10 lines. I want to take only services, states, and actual revenue. We can do that very simple from relation side, where instead of just choosing the whole table, we can use all function, and then just to indicate which columns we want to choose. So for example, if I want states, and then I want I don't know, let's say services here, I can do that and then close the parenthesis, comma, and move forward. So but I want to take now the whole table, so I will say many, and I can just close my parentheses for the moment. And if I hit enter, I should see first 10 lines in our table view. So we have actually the first 10 lines from our table. If I click on the name of the table, I will see also my function. So basically I started from Armenia and I'm here in India. Exactly the same information that I have here at the beginning of my table, first 10 lines. If I want to switch back here and take the last 10 rows, I should indicate my start position -10 and my last position -1. And this is what we are going to do now. So I'll say start from -10 and go to -1 last row from my table. So I hit enter and I just have the last 10 rows from my table. I can just visualize it. And whenever somebody will add a new line here or more lines, I will see only the last 10 rows in my report, my table. Now, of course, I can go here in Visual Report, add a table, and just add my columns, and I will just see the same thing. So like states, services, and actual revenue. So I will see the last 10 rows very easily. If this is my request for my new, or my need for my new report, I will always see the last 10 lines. Great. Let's just go back in our report table. And what we want to do now, for example, we would like to do more than just see this table, last 10 rows. If the request is like, I need to see from each category, like I have here web design. Let's just make it a color. So I have a request from my customer. He wants to see the actual revenue, top highest, let's make it with another color. Top three highest revenue from each category. So meaning that I need to extract from web design highest revenue. Then the second one, the descending order, would be 2.2 millions, and the last, then the third one will be 2.1 million. I can do that also with for each category from my service column. I can do that if I go back here, and as I said in the beginning, I need to work also on these parameters. So, but first of all, I will ignore that and I will go forward with my function, and notice that we have order by. This order by option, order by, will help us to decide in which direction we want to order data from a column. It could be ascending or descending, in which column. So we will say that we want to order by actual revenue. So meaning that I'm going to use one-to-many actual revenue, and I have two options to order by, ascending or descending. And let's say descending because I want to see top three. So I'll choose descending. But anyway, notice that the function order by give us more flexibility. You can choose another column that you want to do the second way of ordering data and so on. But we for now we are interested in actual revenue, so only actual revenue. So we'll say close parentheses, and we don't have blanks now, so we have the partition by. This is really important. So we need to add it. And what is very important, whenever we use order by, it's good to also use partition by. Partition by is like separating our data based on some clustered formation in our table, in a column, like for example, where we have services, right? If we go back here, in our services column, we have clustered names. So this is what we are looking for with the partition, to separate our data based on clustered services, and do and extract values that we are interested in. And once I close this, I need to go back here and change the values. So now we want to go from minus to first position, and here we want to go back real, and we want to go until position 3. What we want to do is to use ABS in I mean, like going forward. Let's see what will happen. So we get top 3. Wherever we have 2 lines in category or 1, it means that there are no more than 3 lines in the same category. Where is 1, it means that it's only 1 line. So naturally we will get only 1 or 2 lines. But what is very important that we want to look for is like having data in a descending order, arranged, like top 3 highest performers. And notice that in web design and operations and training, I have more than 3. I have 3 lines, but also in my table, initial table, I have more than 3 lines. For example, in web design, I have 5, right? And here I have a lot in operations. So we took out the highest value from web design, then the second value, and the third value in a descending order. Operations same. So now the data looks as we wanted, like top 3 highest performers, highest value, revenue values. And let's just take one randomly. Let's look in operations, for example, or web design. Let's check operations. 3 millions, 2 millions, 1.8 operations. So we have 3 millions, the highest value. Well, what is the second one? It should be 2 millions and then 1.8. So we have 2.9 millions, 2.2. Oh no, here 3 millions, 2 and 1.8. 3 millions to 1.8. 3 millions to 1.8. So it's correct. If we check web design, we have the first one 2.9, 2.2, 2.1. 2.9, 2.2, 2.1, which is correct. So this is the way we can extract top 3 highest performance. Now, let's say we want to switch to the lowest performance. So let's see, what if I add -3 here, and I change go forward, and I say here 0 and back, like real, and I should get minus. I should get lowest revenue for each category, top 3. So let's see in a descending order. So wherever I have like medical and safety two positions, it takes anyway descending, whatever it finds. But notice where I have web design, I have 2.1 million, 1.8, and 84K. Let's just check that. 84K. So 84K is the lowest one. Let's call it number 3. Which one is the next one? It should be this one. And the next one, it should be 2.1. So this should be the first value. 2.1, 1.7, 84. 2.1, 1.7, 84. So it is correct. So now we have the lowest top 3 revenues. Let's check also operations, 100K, 96.78. Operations, last 3 values, lowest values should be this one, the third one, the next, the second one, 78, 100K. No, this should be the second one. And this should be the first one in a descending order. 100K, 96.78. 100K, 96.78. So it is correct. All right, so let's move now in the next scenario. Of course, you'll have to play with these parameters, and you'll see how the data is changed. In the next scenario, we have many to many. We have similar rows here. So actually, it is a problem with this kind of tables where the first column is has duplicated names, because once we start with the first column, it will look also at the names of the states, but also at the actual revenue, and it will be very difficult to take the data simple, the first 10 rows, for example, as we did in the first scenario. But there is a trick. The thing is that if we add the first column here, like index column with different unique numbers, then the problem is solved. So I'm going to show you how we can do that. So we go now and build a new table. We'll call it window 2. Let's say as we did in first scenario, we will say from 1 and we will try to add the name of the table that we are now trying to get data out. And you can see we have a problem. Windows relation parameter may have duplicate rows. So it is actually it has actually detected the first column with similar names. There is an option to get rid of this error. For example, if we use all function, we'll have just to put manually the columns that we want to have in our table. So if I look here, we have states, region, locations. So management states, region, locations, states, region, locations. Employee services, actual revenue. Services, actual revenue. So if I close the parenthesis now, what will happen? We will get all the columns that we mentioned here in the table, and we expect actually to get the first 10 rows from our table, like these ones. The problem is that it will not happen, and we will get indeed 10 rows from this table, but it will take in consideration column states and also the actual revenue in a default order. So let's just hit enter and see what we get. So the first two rows, 1.3 are Armenia, 1.3 is 600K, are actually here. Until here it's fine, but once we change the name of the state, and because they're similar, you'll see that, and because it is here, the first column, you'll see that in Australia we have 500K, 1.3 millions, so which is actually not the case here. So you can see that here is medical, safety, IT, HR. So we have the next column should be Australia. The next line should be Australia with HR and 2.3 millions. So that didn't happen. So you can see that here are data, revenues starting with Australia in here in a ascending order, and then a descending order, and switch it back to descending, and so on. So actually there are some filters applied in a chain, and that therefore we have this kind of picture. But we can very easily solve this, and we can very easily take the first 10 rows or the last ones. If we add a column here, a new column in our table with unique values, like let's say 1, 2, 3, and then we can solve the problem. So we'll do that in our data set with an index column. So let's just go back in transform data. And now we look to add a column, and we have here index column. We will choose custom, and then we add a starting index 1, increment 1, and we have added just a new column to our table. We can move this column in front of states column. So I think this was actually duplicated one. I already had one inside. So you can see now that I have this index column. If I close now, and all these numbers, whenever consecutive numbers, whenever we add a new line, new index number will be added. And actually what we need to do now is only to place here the new column, index column, from our many-to-many table. So it is here, and just press enter. And also I forgot one comma here to separate it, and looks like we have now solved our problem. So we have the first 10 rows, and if we check in our Excel file, we have 1.36, 2.3, 2.3, 1.8, 2.3, 2.3, 1.8. So actually we have exactly the first 10 rows, and very easily we can go here and without the last 10 rows. So this will be position -10, and the last row will be -1. And whenever something will be added here, like new lines, we will always have the last 10 rows in our report. So for that we need to specify starting from -10 and end to last line in our table -1. And this is it. These are the last 10 rows with all the information, and we can just make a double check. 22 kit 36 640. So yeah, it's the same information. Okay, now that we have solved this, and by the way, the same approach can be used for index function. Whenever we have a table with similar names in the first column, we just need to add an index column, and we solve the problem just like that. Of course, if we move in the visual side here, the reports view, we can add everything we did in window 2 in this table, and we have just a live view, new report. And what about now top 3 highest revenues from each service category? So similarly to first scenario, we will do kind of same thing, but a little bit different with the same results. So let's just jump in. For top 3 highest revenues in our each service category in a descending order. Let's just see how we can do that. So we will change now. Here we will say 1 ABS instead of -10, and then we will change to 3 ABS, and we will take, of course, we'll let the same everything in the relation side, and now we need to go forward with our function. So we need to order our data by actual revenue, because this is what we are interested to take out, and we will say in a descending order because we want to take top numbers, top figures. And then we say blanks we don't have, and we say we want to split data and everything by categories in service column. So we'll add services and just close parentheses, and let's see what we have. We have first category medical in a descending order, HR in a descending order, IT, safety, and electronics. Now we can take randomly any category and check if we indeed have these numbers. So we can start, I don't know, maybe medical or electronics. Let's take IT. So we look here. Where is IT? It's here. So we'll make this with one. And which are in fact the top 3 numbers in a descending order. This should be 1, 3 millions, and then this one second, 2.7 millions, and 2.46. This we should have in our report on the IT cluster. 3.3, 2.7, 2.4, 3.3, 2.7, 3.4. So that is correct. So it means that everything now is correct. We have to actually got top 3 highest revenues in each category of services, and then what we want to know, top three lowest actual revenue for each category. So we'll need to change a little bit here to play again with the numbers. So we say -2, start from -2. We let ABS, and then we say go to 10 real. Let's see what is happening. Oh, 10, pardon, 0. And let's see what is happening. Nothing. But if we change here to real, we change. So let's see, we have top 2, we want top 3. So we need to go start from -3 then. And now we have top 3 lowest values from each department, from each service cluster. So let's take, for example, HR. So let's see, 44, 81, this is 300K. Where is HR? Here. I think it's correct now, so let's just see the whole HR. It's a long list, and we are looking for the last 3 numbers. Lowest numbers are here. 44, 81, so 300K. Yep. Yeah, it is correct. Let's have a look at IT. It's here. Plus 3 are here. 197, 300 and 400. Yeah, it's correct. Let's look at electronics. These are the last 3. Electronics, 66K, 300, 400. It's correct. Somehow it is a range data, but let's just make, for the sake of exercise, let's just change some number here and see if we get the update. So I want to put here, let's say 10K. Then I want to put here 20K. And here 25K. So I should get these numbers in my, when I do refresh, I should get these numbers. And that should be the order in descending way for electronics. And if I save it now, and yeah, I'll just do this. And I will do refresh to my data. I think there are some problems also. Let's just check what error we have. Save one. So I'll remove this, and now should be okay. And let's see what we get in case of electronics. So we can see 25K, 20 and 10K. So it is actually working very well. So everything is fine in the same order that we wanted. So we have the top lowest values of actual revenue for each category. So I think this is all for today. I think this function is very useful in any reports that we'll do from now on, because we have the chance to actually to get what information we want from some tables in a specific order, and it's not that difficult if we have the proper settings done. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you like it, please subscribe to my channel. That will help me a lot. And see you next time. Goodbye.